Hello guys, what's up? This is ScherBR and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about romancing SaGa UniverSe. We will be talking about episode 12 farming. Well, on episode 12 you don't have many stages that are so easy, but I think they are a little easier than episode 11. Depends on the squad and the characters that you have available, but we still don't have a very easy stage like episode 10.1.2. This stage where I explained that you can just bring Rouge and he can solo farm depending on the strength of your Rouge, like this formation here, where I just bring Rouge and the rest doesn't matter. Or you can just bring moon damage or slash damage. This stage is the sweet spot for farming. After 4.1.5 on very hard, this is the best one. But then we don't have another stage like this one. We have to think carefully on the squad and the formations. But on episode 12, we have at least 4 very good stages to farm, and I'll be explaining all the strategies here. The first of them is important because if you want to farm a new bow, it should be a dexterity bow or a water bow because you summon it for a list. Well, this stage here is the best one. 12.1.3 Mountain Pass Midway. The enemies here will use some elemental attacks and also pierce damage. And you should be bringing a squad that's focused on dealing magical attacks. Let's choose this full mage squad, but it can also be characters that can do physical attacks with elemental damage. But this one is easier because it uses Light Ball as the main resource. Also uses Princess White Rose. We have Light Ball with blue. We also have it with Kongming, also Wildfire. Let's see the remaining characters. We have Yundin. She uses Ice Javelins and Squall. She's not a healer on this setup. And Leo also do the same thing. He also inherits Wildfire from his A style, and he can also use Light Ball. Sophia can also use Light Ball, but only if you inherited that from her Christmas style. Future characters that can also do AoE magical attacks will be just fine here. So let's run. Let me explain the first wave. We have Gorgon as an enemy here. Gorgon is resistant against Blunt, no resist against anything else, also no weak against anything else. And there's Gel Matter, this enemy here. This enemy is weak against all elemental attacks. You see, very resistant against Blunt, but also weak against any other elemental attack. Just don't bring Blunt here. You can also bring Slash if you don't have a full mage squad, like Ocelot should work fine here. But I am bringing a full mage squad because I have one. Oh, nice. We just landed Confusion on Gel Matter. You see, the bows can kinda kill one of your characters. On this setup, I'm only using White Rose for healing and reviving. You can also bring Sophia, like I said. Sophia can also help you. Or maybe if you're not so secure, you can try to bring a healing spell with your Yunzi. Also, I cannot clear this on a single turn. Always needs me 2 turns to clear the first wave. The second wave is way easier because all the 3 enemies here are weak against magical damage. If you get a combo, that's even better because it increases damage. Sometimes I can finish then with a single turn if I don't have anyone dead and then I don't need to revive it. Cyclone Squeeze can kill you. But the small enemies don't kill you with a single hit. Nice, we're probably killing those 2. Yeah, they are dead. And now the last wave is a mix, again, with Gorgon and News. And this one is actually simple, because even if some of your characters are dead, your Princess White Rose will revive. And then there's no attack here that kills you by AoE. They will try to kill one by one. But even if your Princess White Rose do not survive this last wave, everything should still work fine. And this stage is only for those that want to farm for a bow. Just get a water bow or a dex bow and you should be fine. Stop farming this. Unless you want to farm for this mage specifically. Yeah, we just run it. So super fine. But if you are having some difficulty, just bring either Sophia or change the spell from your Yunzin for a healing spell. Okay, we got a bow, but not the dex one. Okay, let's click on next. And we'll be talking about the second stage that it's easy to farm. Then there's the stage that introduces fire and wind staves. They are the first one that can get a status plus when they drop. So just get one that has an intelligence as a sub-status, then you should be fine. Don't try to search for Intelligence Plus because you keep changing equipments on this game. Searching for an Intelligence Plus weapon will take so much time and so many stamina that is a waste. Okay, so we have now to go to 12.2.1. On this stage here, we will be facing enemies that are weak against Sun and Pierce. And then you can train some of your mages, healers, and Pierce damage dealers. It's interesting because we can rotate between them, especially the Pierce damage dealers. Let me change my squad. My squad should be, let's see, this one here. This one, 12.2.1. I bring 3 mages that can produce some damage, and also 2 Pierce attackers. Both Mikhail and Monica have access to Soul Turn Cross that deal more damage against undead. That will be very useful here. But I'm bringing Sword Ballet with Monica and Soul Turn Cross with Mikhail because I want to train those 2 skills. And the formation is Magic Shower. Should be this one here. We can just send the Pierce damage dealers to the front lines and then increase the damage output of 2 mages like here Kongbing and Blue. Or you can use the Divine Wall formation. Both formations work, guys. This Divine Wall will increase the damage from your Pierce damage dealers and increase a little of the agility from your mage. So they will probably attack before, but then the Pierce damage dealers will attack later. Let's run Divine Wall first. But this setup is interesting because it trains Pierce damage dealers. You can just replace with Fake Robin, with Selma. Cordelia doesn't really work here. Maybe you can change for one of your mages or just use the other formation Magic Shawl. And let's see, the first enemy here is weak against Pierce. You see, I just used Sword Ballet, Wildfire. 2 enemies are already dead. Wildfire again. They are just cleared with 1 turn. Now we have this enemy here that is a little of a problem. Resentful Yun that can sleep you. So you can bring a sleep resistance accessories to increase your resistances. That can work. Feral Pounce can also one-hit kill you. It's a slash attack, so you can also bring equipment resistant against the slash. But if you manage to attack before the enemy, sometimes you will be able to kill him before being attacked. So let's turn full power auto again, but before, let me see this giant. Like I said, it's weak against Pierce and Sun also hit, but we're not bringing. Let's just turn on full power. See, very nice that they even did a combo. They have more agility here, where in Magic Shawl they have less agility. Full turn cross, just killed 1 enemy. Usually with this formation we get at least 2 mages to attack before the enemy. That helps because if other characters are sleeping, they still manage to defeat the enemies. So we are back to 2 of these other enemies here, and one of the undead that can inflict sleep. Let's check them again. His Soul Turn Cross deals very high damage. See, weak against Sun, but not Pierce, but not resistance, not weak, just normal damage. I usually take 1 turn to clear the first wave, 2 turns to clear the second wave, and 2 turns to clear the third wave. Even if this enemy manages to make my character sleep, I still clear it with easy. See? He even managed to sleep 4 of my characters. So this setup is Sun damage and Pierce damage. You can train your Pierce damage dealers here. And it's also good because we have Monica and Mikhail with increased status gains. That helps a lot. And the next one is 12.2.2. This stage here, the enemies are weak against Slash, so it's very easy if you have strong Slash damage dealers. I am using this squad that has 4 featured characters. This one is the one that you can bring more trainees. You can kinda clear the whole stage with 3 Slash damage dealers if they have AoE. That's why it's so easy for those that have Acelus. So, let's check Acelus. She is using Whirlwind on the first turn, and then she just used Mirage Step after the first turn. Sometimes she doesn't have BP, so one normal attack, then she recovers BP, keeps using Mirage Step. About her equipment, I am using Beast Mail. It gives resistance against Slash, Blunt, and Pierce. The enemies here deals Slash and Moon damage. Beast Mail is not the best for Slash resistance, but it's okay. And then we have this equipment here called Power Gloves. It's good because it increases her STR. We need the max STR we can get. And now it's resistant against Slash. The only attack that can one-hit kill Acelus comes from an enemy that deals Slice and Dice. It's a Slash damage. And then she will resist this and survive. And, well, she's the most important piece here. I don't want her to die. And the equipment is also Ramox Medallion because it gives more STR. All the other characters don't need this, so they are bringing Reinforced Guard because the enemy can also poison you. They have more resistance against poison and also moon damage. That's the same thing for my Polka, my Katarina. My new global exclusive Katarina deals so much damage here, you guys will see. And my Double Crush is a Max Awakened. Same for Glacial's Word, so she starts the battle using Double Crush and then just keep using Glacial's Word. Maybe she will be able to use Double Crush, but it's very hard to. So instead I just inherited Smash, because that means that at least after she uses Double Crush, she will keep switching between Glacial's Word and Smash. My Smash is maxed, so that makes sense. While my Polka just starts by using Mirage Blade and then Moonfall Slash every once in a while. He's being trained, he's not so important. If you have another character that can deal AoE attack like Mirage Blade, anyone should work. And then let's see, we have Monica. She's not doing anything here. I'm only trying to get more status. And Liz is a backup healer. It works to save you from some things, but she's actually being trained. I hardly even need Water of Life unless there's something very strange that happens in my runs. So the only three characters that are important here are the 3 slash damage dealers. Katarina can help clear the first wave and then she'll keep doing very good damage to kill other enemies. Acelus do AoE attack and Polka also do AoE attack and then just keeps dealing single targets till the enemies are dead. Like I said, the formation is speculation. Let's run this and see what happens. Okay, let me turn off my full power auto to explain what's going on here. There's this enemy called Chilag. It's an enemy that has less than 8000 HP, very easy to kill, weak against Slash and resistant against Moon and everything else. And then we have this other enemy called Clown. This Clown is weak against both Moon and Slash, but we are just focusing on Slash. Well, usually my Acelus go first and then she kills 2 enemies because of Whirlwind. And then my global exclusive Katarina will kill the other 2 enemies. Let's turn on full power and see what happens. Well, that enemy still survived. Sometimes there's a variance between the damage. They have like 8.6, 8.7k HP. So sometimes it survives. When my Acelus gets to final level, I think they will not resist her damage anymore. And also she's not maxed or capped. Well, Acelus always solves the problems with her AoE attack. You see, Smash deals much more damage than Ice's Word. It's very hard to get a double crash 2 times, so this is why I inherited Smash instead. Those enemies cannot one-hit kill you, so it's very safe, this strategy here. Well, it's already done. 1 turn for first wave, sometimes 2 turns for second wave, and 2 turns for the third wave. Well, this was the third strategy. And the last one is 12.2.4. This stage here will be facing enemies that are weak against the Sun. and also blunt damage. That's the best place to train your blunt damage dealers. I am bringing speculation, I'll be explaining here. You can bring martial artists or club users, can train all of them together on the first 3 slots, and then you should bring mages on the secondary slots here, on Princess White Rose, and also Summer Liz are here. Summer Liz is more because of the status gain. You can check that this formation here is bringing 4 featured styles. There's Azami, Ginny, Cat, and Liz, so I'm getting a lot of status by farming this stage. Princess White Rose will deal some damage because of her chocolate balls. Bringing Liz here is just because of the status gain. And the 3 frontal characters are the ones that are dealing damage. So you should also bring a Fluffy Hood to reduce the blunt damage from the enemies. They do more blunt damage than the other type of damages. And, well, I'm more geared towards dealing damage here than anything else. Let's click here. I will be running this stage. The first enemies are the ones that are weak against Sun, and then on the last wave you'll be facing the boss. Now let me explain the enemies. The vampire is not so strong. It deals slash and moon damage. His feral pounce will not kill you. It's not as strong as some other enemies. The resistances are only for cold and moon, weak against sun, pierce, and heat. But we are not bringing pierce here, only sun and blunt. Well, at least it's not resistant against blunt. The other enemy here is Nuki Levi. And this one is weak against sun only, but not resistant against blunt. And it only deals blunt damage, coming from martial arts and also from club. So submission and bone crusher will really reduce the incoming damage from this enemy. So let's click on full auto and see what happens. Submission also decreases the damage from the slash skills from Vampire. Whirlwind also never hits more than one of your characters because of speculation. Again, this is here only for status gain. You should be using Sophia here. She will be way better than Liz. You see, usually it takes 3 turns to clear the first wave. And this second wave I clear with 2 or 3 turns as well. They have very high HP. But you need to farm the stage because of the Dark Staff. Elise is very safe. Also, Leonid will be way better than Cat. Cat has a problem with her rotation. Even Johan will be better than her. But Cat is featured. We are getting more status on the moment that this was released. Okay, now it's the last wave. I'll explain on the next turn. These are considered bosses. They deal elemental attack, and also this agility decrease is very interesting because only the top enemy deals it. STR decrease as well, you see. This attack is exclusive to the one to the top. They are not exactly the same, even though they share the same name. Let me show you here. Zelnamite. Let's check the resistances. It's weak against blunt and cold. That's the reason why we are bringing blunt damage dealers. Cold is not important here. And now let's click on skills and spells. You see that there are a lot of spells and attacks that comes from martial arts. So that's why submission helps. And the other enemy has these different attacks. STR decrease and AG decrease. They work with a line. They are indirect attacks and work with a line. You can also counter direct attacks, but I don't know which turns that they counter. But that's it. It's just a little different than the other enemy. But after you kill the first one, the second one will be easy. Yeah, the first one is already dead. It's usually 3 turns here as well. 2 or 3 turns depending on your setup. But it's super safe to run this composition. And yeah, we just cleared it with 2 turns. So this was the last strategy, guys. With all the strategies I showed you, you will be able to farm all the new equipments. You can see that this stage drops Sun and Moon staves. This other one drops Water and Earth staves. The first stage from the second part drops Fire and Wind. So we have all the staves. And on this stage here, you can also farm the bow. Everything is covered. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and if you want to support the channel, you can do so by using the Patreon, PayPal, or Coffee buttons here in the description. We see each other on the next one. Bye.